Hello, that's a lovely face.
Are we supposed to read the camera or the slide?
I don't know, we'll ask her about that. So here, come in a little closer and see what it looks
Yeah,
like
but
with
then
you.
I'm gonna have her, my chin is gonna be like...
Alright, we'll come between them and I'll come over here and we'll test all those. Alright? Alright. My name is Troy Wunderle. I'm 40 years old. I live in Rockingham, Vermont. I'm the artistic director of Circus Smirkus, the director of clowning for the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, and the founder of Wunderle's Big Top Adventures. I'm a circus producer, performer, and director.
My name is Sarah Wunderle. I'm 38 years old, and I work for a company called Circus Smirkus, and I'm the assistant circus operations director.
Hi, my name's Emily Wunderle. I'm 12 years old and I perform in a circus called Circus Smirkus over the summer. Hi, my name is Ariana Wunderle. I'm 9 years old and I perform at Circus Smirkus.
Perfect. Okay. So now tell me, Emily, tell me what kind of things you guys do together as a family.
Together as a family, we usually perform in Circus Smirkus. And then after Smirkus is done, we usually have about a week afterwards to do something as a family where we go on vacation. Through the winter time, we usually don't have a lot of family time because my dad does his residencies with Big Top Adventures.
Okay. Ariana, can you add anything to that? Do you guys ever have time to go to the movies or, I don't know, ride bikes? I'm just making up examples. Anything like that?
Sometimes, but it's mostly, we're all booked and, yeah.
You're all booked with the circus stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So say that back to me. Say sometimes it's hard to do other activities because we are so into the circus and we're always booked with circus stuff.
Go.
Sorry.
That's okay. I know it was a lot. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just trying to give you the...
Make a sentence out of it.
Yeah.
We usually don't have free time because since we're in Circus Smirkus that we're so booked.
Perfect. Okay, so now let's tell me a little bit about each other's personalities. Girls, you first describe your parents. If you could describe them.
Good luck.
Describe them in like 3 words for me.
And I'm listening.
Okay. My dad is funny, nice, and helpful. And my mom is loving, caring, and nice.
Okay, Ariana?
My dad is goofy, kind, and what is it called? Sorry. And unique. My mom is loving, caring, and best mom ever.
Perfect. Mom and Dad, tell me about you guys. Describe each other real quick. Not maybe instead of saying 3 words, make a sentence for me.
Sure.
Make a sentence.
Best words to describe Troy would be a very child at heart, always happy, always looking on the bright side of life, always turns things to the positive, and always has a smile on his face and is always making us laugh.
Dad, you want to tell me about Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah is one of the most dedicated moms I know. She tours around on a daily basis taking care of not only 2 children, but a husband that has childlike tendencies. She's incredibly dedicated to making sure that our children grow up in the best way possible, exposing them to as many opportunities as can be, and working real hard and making it look very easy.
Awesome. Okay, so let me just do parents now. So girls, you guys could step out for a second for me. And then, if you can, or maybe it doesn't matter from where you are, this looks good. You guys are in the camera frame from like...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a thumbs up from the kids.
All right, cool. Tell me again, name, age, job.
Sure. My name is Troy Wunderle. I'm 40 years old. I live in... where do I live?
You don't. Name, age, job.
Oh, that's it? Okay. My name is Troy Wunderle. I'm 40 years old. I am the artistic director of Circus Smirkus, the director of clowning for the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, and the founder of Wunderle's Big Top Adventures, an interactive circus arts organization.
My name is Sarah Wunderle. I'm 38 years old. I work for a company called Circus Smirkus, and I am their assistant circus operations director.
Perfect. In a very, very simple explanation, tell me what each of your girls does in the circus.
Sure. The beautiful thing about Circus Smirkus is it allowed us at an early age to involve our daughters in our occupation, and they've jumped in the ring at age 1.5 each, and have toured with Circus Smirkus since then. Emily is an aerialist by heart. She loves being in the air, she loves being graceful and making people smile. Ariana's more of the daredevil and the lady full of shenanigans. She loves clowning and surprising people not only with her talent but her wit.
Awesome. Okay. And where is it that this is taking place? Like, where are the girls performing?
Yes, Circus Smirkus is based in Greensboro, Vermont, in the northeast quadrant of the state. The circus runs only in the summer. It's a 10-week program. 3 weeks is training up at headquarters in Greensboro, and then we hit the road around New England for 7 weeks, and we travel to all the New England states: Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and then we visit New York as well. And they do close to 69 to 70 shows within that 7-week period.
Is it a traveling youth circus specifically, so it's all young kids?
Yep, Circus Smirkus is the only international touring youth circus in America. Kids aged 10 to 18 come from all around the world to put on a thematic show that tours for 7 weeks all throughout New England and New York.
Perfect. Tell me, what is that?
Ariana.
Oh, that actually, you already answered that one.
Oh no, I'm frozen.
Oh, come back.
Did you get them so interested?
Hold on, sorry, we lost you for that whole... We lost you for that...
I'm sorry, say that again?
We lost you for that whole period.
Oh, sorry. What, I want to know what motivated you, is it just, for lack of a better word, to have them, to push them to do into the circus?
Mm-hmm.
Did they want to do it naturally because they saw you doing it? How did that come to be? Or did you say, hey, get in?
Oh no.
Girls, you can't move around.
We are moving.
Just go sit on the couch and maybe that will help out. If you can hear us, you're frozen right now, so we'll wait a moment. Although we know the question, we can just answer it.
Video's turned off.
Ah! Just gonna try it again.
Disconnected.
Yeah, you could just answer the question.
Yes, because the mic's on. They'll get some extra bonus footage. This one's got to do the bookie.
No, see that, Dad.
Let's try this again.
Okay.
Do you think that's on your end or our end?
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all right.
Well, we heard the question, so we can give a stab at answering it.
Got it. I can't see you.
Oh,
Hold
we're
on.
here. We see you.
How about the camera with the cross? Do you hit that?
All right, hold on. We're getting there.
Hit
There
that,
you
yeah.
go.
Oh, okay. So the motivation to them, that
Sure.
they wanted to start, or you pushed them to start.
Sure. Well, Circus Smirkus is an international touring youth circus, and I'm the only adult that steps in the ring with a cast of about 28 to 30 students each year. And we were doing a Wild West tour many years ago, and I had an audience participation moment, which is a quiet moment in the show where we bring an audience member in and warm people's hearts with tenderness. And I went up to the ring and asked a little girl to step in, and she shook her head and smiled and said, "No, thank you." And there was no other options around that area. And my wife happened to be sitting in the front of the ring with Emily on her lap, and she was a little under 1 year old, and she slid off Sarah's lap and kind of made her way through the crowd and hurled herself up over the ring curb and came into the ring, just assuming that I needed help. So she became my little buddy, my little partner right there and then. And half the audience was crying because they knew the story, and the other half just thought it was a superhuman toddler and were crying for that reason. And it was a really touching, special moment for everyone. That evening, Emily asked if she could be in the circus, and I told her if she was interested as the next season came around, I'd be happy to write a little part for her. And that next season, we wrote a little clown act between she and I, and she basically spoofed and picked on me for 3.5 minutes. And I expected it to be the opening act and to maybe, wane in excitement after that. But she ended up doing 80 shows straight that summer and never hesitated and has been in every Smirkus show since.
And I think just to piggyback on that, I think what Troy hasn't said is both our girls were born in this environment. I work for the company year-round, and therefore, I was selling tickets with them on my back as infants. This was normal to them. This is their summer. It wasn't a new thing. So to see other kids doing this and wanting to do it was kind of, you're in the environment, in that habitat, you just be a part of it. And luckily, they have the skill and the talent to do it, which is great. And we give them the option every year, and we don't push them. It's certainly something that we allow them to make the decision on every year. And so far, they continue to do it and love it, and each have their own strengths and weaknesses in the arena. So it's great.
And as Sarah said, we had Emily, and she had been performing for a couple of years when Ariana came around, and Ariana grew up just knowing that this is what the family did. Mm-hmm. This is what her sister did. And in Smirkus, the one thing that makes it unique is not necessarily that it's kids, but the passion and the spirit you experience in that ring is unique of any other circus I've seen. And it's what makes us completely special. And what kid doesn't want to jump in the ring and have fun? Ariana was watching her older sister pick on Dad on a daily basis and be revered for it. And, we play a lot. It's hard work. But from the beginning, they jumped in and have had no hesitation since then.
Got it. Okay. So try and articulate it in a sentence or two.
Okay.
But is there an ultimate goal? And I'm hoping the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
sure.
Is there an ultimate goal? For example, do they want to do it for money, for fame, to be the best high wire walker ever? Is there an ultimate goal in mind for the girls that you have, that you want for them?
Well, the one thing that I thought my parents were brilliant about is they looked at each of their children and they said, we don't care what you do, we'll support it as long as you're doing it to the best of your ability. And that's the one thing we tried to foster in our children up to this point, which is step into this world, have a blast, but take it seriously and go as far as you possibly can. And they work really hard at it. I mean, these kids train all year round. Smirkus is only in the summer, but they train year round. They do shows through another organization called NECA. They do shows through my company, Big Top Adventures. This is not a hobby for them. This is a lifestyle, and they work on it very, very dearly and dedicated on a daily basis.
Let me interrupt you. So say this is not a hobby for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
No,
This is what it is. This is not a hobby. It's a lifestyle. It's a career for them.
Great.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, no, this is not a hobby. They take it very seriously. Let me try that again. This is not a hobby. They take it very seriously, and I don't have any hesitation to think that this could become a full-time career choice for them in the future.
Perfect. Do you feel like there's any sacrifices that you guys have to make in order to support them, or not necessarily because you're doing it already? You know what I mean? I'm just wondering.
Sure.
I mean, sacrifice in terms of free time and choices that I would love to happen. My life really revolves around their choices, and their choice is the circus, and I'm the one that's constantly chauffeuring them. I'm the one that's paying the bills. I'm the one that's making their dream come true, and I want to. They're my kids. This is what they do. So I get them on the bus for school in the morning, and then I pick them up after school. We go to circus class. We do private lessons. We come home. Weekends are booked with shows. It's circus 24/7, no matter if it's summer, winter, spring, or fall. So there'll be a point when they'll be on their own and I'll be able to finally do hobbies of my own, but right now my kids are my number one priority, and circus is their life. So
Is it expensive for for them to be training? When they're there, is that an expensive thing?
It is expensive because circus is not one discipline. So they take circus classes, but in addition to that, they need to be well-rounded performers. So they've taken theater, they've taken dance, they've got a chance to be competitive gymnasts for the state of Vermont. My oldest daughter, Emily, does a lot of art. All of that filters into circus. They play musical instruments. Every single discipline has lessons and have costs and fees associated with it. It's not an easy and cheap way to go through life, but it's an awfully inspiring way.
And it's not the lessons, it's the costumes, it's the makeup, it's, you know, it's everything, so.
Transportation.
If you had to guess how many hours a week would you say is related to training for the circus?
6.
In the summer, their entire waking hours. Normal day in Smirkus starts with an hour rehearsal, a 2-hour show, about an hour and a half of rehearsals, and another 2-hour show.
We cut you off because we gotta make it small, make it in like
Okay.
snippets. So just in the summertime, it's 27 hours a week.
Yeah.
Like just
Okay.
very
Okay.
give or take. I mean, approximately.
Yeah, well, I don't know that we can honestly say how much, because they're kids. I'll just say 24/7. Does that work? Okay. So yeah, in the summertime, it's a full-time job. They're working circus through and through 24 hours a day.
Perfect. And in the winter?
In the winter, it certainly cuts down because they are in school. If I just think of circus class, 6, 8, I'd be fair saying, well, if you take gymnastics, hold on, if 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 30 hours, if you got
Yeah,
30 hours a week in the winter.
Perfect. Okay. Is anything that they do dangerous?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the big fears I have with bringing my family into this life. You asked about sacrifice a moment before. Sarah was a physical therapist by trade, and that was her career choice and her path. Circus kind of took over our lifestyle, and it's because of the girls that she has stayed so involved with circus and made it a family event. Sorry, the first question.
Dangerous.
What is dangerous?
So one of the challenges is I've brought the children into this world, and there's a danger factor to everything they do in the ring. Both girls have flown 3 high pyramids since they were 2 years old. That's significantly high in the air and requires a lot of trust of the people underneath you. Ariana was a wire walker this summer on a 6-foot wire. That's an awfully small frame to be walking on a 6-foot wire. Aerialist. Emily's an aerialist, and she goes 30 feet in the air spinning on apparatus that she is not physically hooked to. If she gets dizzy or distracted, she falls off, and there could be potential for a real disaster.
And the other thing is our tent that we perform under is not air conditioned. So you think of the summer in 90-degree heat, up in the top of the cupola, which is what we call the top of the tent, it's hot, it's sweaty, she's up there spinning on a metal apparatus. It's dangerous, and as a mom, I'm constant, when I hear her music come on, I've got eyes on that act to make sure that everything is going good.
Both girls have had...
Do you ever hold your breath? Is there ever that, are you scared or a moment when you're watching them?
Yes, very much
Constantly.
so.
Say that back to me. Say that there is that moment
Yep.
of...
There is a moment of constant holding my breath and the butterflies in the stomach, and the 3-minute act feels like 20 minutes long, and then you take a deep sigh at the end of the act, and you're just smiling and beaming as you see your kid succeed over and over and over again. But yes, it is nerve-wracking as a parent, seeing your young child up in the air and doing these crazy feats that I never wanted to do, but they have the passion to do. So
Do you ever have you ever have a conversation with them about like them being like, have they ever said, I don't want to do this anymore because it's too scary, or it's not smart, I'm gonna fall and break my neck? Does that ever happen?
It's never come from them, it's had to come from us. Both of them have had one accident each, and in one case it was not their fault at all, in another case it was a slip-up. But it was an opportunity for us to sit down and say, you have to take this occupation seriously because it is dangerous. Not only is it dependent upon you staying safe physically, but the environment and the people around you keeping you safe, and the equipment. There could be equipment failures. There's all sorts of factors that go into circus that make this a very real experience.
Do any other parents ever say anything to you? Or what other parents think of like the kids in school? They ever think that you're crazy for letting them do that?
They,
I'm not trying to be.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you ever get parents saying that?
I get parents at the end of each show constantly coming up and saying, I can't believe your daughters are capable of doing what I just saw at the age they are. Aren't you petrified? And I can honestly look them in the eyes and say, I'm nervous, but I know they're trained, and I trust the systems that we've set in place, and they'll be safe.
Awesome. Do you think that your girls have what it takes? And I'm sure the answer is yes. But do you think the girls have what it takes to be the very best at what they're doing now at their age for when they're older? Do they have what it takes?
What inspires me is I bring an international cast of coaches to work at Smirkus, and every year there's new coaches that filter in, and every year I've been pulled aside by coaches and said, you've got two special daughters here. These kids are not only dedicated, but they work so hard with a smile on their face, and they're genuinely happy when they do circus. So not only the skill and the passion are there, but the overall aura is that they're loving what they're doing, and that's special. That makes for a real performer.
What is it about them that you think makes them so, they must be fearless, for lack of a better word, to be doing some of this stuff? Is there something innate in them that's making them fearless? Is it what part of their personality?
I think the reason why they're fearless is not only innate and part of their personality, but it's part of their environment. The other 28 kids that are around there doing this during the summertime, all are doing it because this is something they love. They're in an environment they can support one another, that they're there for each other, that there is no fear. They have their back. They have the support of one another. And that carries through when we're not during the summer. These kids go into their private circus lessons, and the kids that aren't part of Circus Smirkus but are also taking circus lessons on the side see this in our girls and feed off our girls, and it just kind of trickles down, trickle-down effect. We always get, you mentioned before about what parents comment to us about, and one of the major comments is our kids seem older than they actually are. They're more mature. They know how to hold themselves. They know how to interact with adults at age 9 and hold conversations. And teachers at school notice, this in our kids as well. So it's not just doing the circus skills, it's a life-changing experience at this age, and to see what they're going to be doing 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, I'm so excited to see. But yeah. The
caliber of their skills just skyrockets each year they have an opportunity to perform with Circus Smirkus.
Awesome. Let me grab the girls.
Okay, girls.
And make sure you're still in the picture.
Look at the camera when you talk.
Should I adjust the camera so it's down closer to them? Yes?
Totally adjust it and make sure it's pretty much super close up. I mean, not just their heads, but like chest up.
Yep.
There's not the dead space that I see is not in the actual camera.
The dead space.
The dead space above their head.
Ceiling.
No, that dead space is not there. Get a little closer though, girls, so we... Okay, you should be good there.
Are we still rolling?
You're rolling.
Okay, so again, we're going to have you say your name, age, and what grade you're in.
Okay. Hi, I'm Emily Wunderle. I'm 12 years old, and I'm in 7th grade. I'm Ariana Wunderle. I'm 9 years old, and I'm in 4th grade.
Perfect. Now, tell me, Emily, you go first. A very simple explanation of what you do. And pretend I'm really stupid and I don't know. So if you say aerialist, say what that means.
Yeah.
Okay. If you say I'm on a pyramid, tell me what that means. Okay. Go ahead.
In the show, I usually perform on an apparatus that hangs from the top of a tent, which in the circus world is called an aerial.
Good example.
In the show this year, I did trapeze times 3, which is called a triple trap, and I performed on it with 2 other girls.
When you sit, the trapeze is that's the swinging, going back and forth and grabbing the hands and switching to the next person.
No, it's
That's flying trapeze.
Yeah, that's flying trapeze.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is trapeze? Without the word flying.
Say static trapeze.
I performed on static trapeze.
So what does that mean? What are you doing on it? So I gotta pretend I'm dumb. Well, because right now I kind of am. So tell me what the static trapeze means. What are you doing? What's the skill that, like, your mom has to take a deep breath because she's afraid you're gonna fall?
I performed on static trapeze, which is a trapeze that hangs from the ceiling but does not swing. And you can hang on it from your knees. You can go up in the ropes from it. You can do things with partners, like stand on their shoulders on the trapeze. You can do many things with it.
Perfect. Okay. And was it you that your parents said do something about a 3-high pyramid?
We both do.
Okay, so tell me what that is. Tell me what it say. We also do.
We also do, Ariana and I, we both do pyramids, which are people stacked on top of people. One of the pyramids we do are called 3-highs, which is a base, and then a middle, and then a flyer. So 3 people on top of each other.
Perfect. All right, Ariana, you tell me what you do when you step into the ring.
Well, I do the type wire, which is 6 feet high, and it's really an awesome experience, and it just gives me this talent that I can have. I do clowning, and I do the pyramids, which my sister just explained to you, and then I do tumbling, which is you can do like cartwheels or like forward rolls or back handsprings and all that stuff.
Perfect. Tell me now where you do it. Tell me that you do your training and performances at Circus Smirkus.
We do our training at Circus Smirkus during the summer, and in the winter we attend a circus group called NECA. And we take a 2-hour class each Tuesday and Thursday.
Perfect. And then each of you tell me when you started. So say, I've been in the ring since I was blank.
I've been in the Smirkus ring since I was 2 years old, when my dad took me in and said, "Hey Emily, why don't we do an act together?"
Perfect. And Ariana?
I started since I was 2 too. I got inspired of what my family was doing, and I just enjoyed.
Great. Hang on 1 second. Tell me how long during the summer you practice, and what does it? You can explain just in a couple sentences that it's the classes in the summer and it's 30 hours a week or whatever, approximately. Okay, go ahead.
So in the summer for training, we have 2 days to see what classes there are. The next couple weeks are for the classes that we are assigned, and then we figure out what we are in those classes, and we work on the acts then, and then those acts get put into the show. This whole thing is 3 weeks.
Got it. And then once you're when you're in the show and those other 7 weeks over the summer, how many shows are you doing, like a day or a week or?
Every day we do 2 shows at every place we go to. Usually it's 2 to 3 days at every town, and then we jump. We have 1 day off and we jump, which is like we go from one town to another town.
Cool. Ariana, tell me why you love what you do.
Well, I
love being a part of the circus because...
Okay. I love being a part of the circus because it's mostly just everything, but the friends, the personality, the things you can learn, the audience, the faces, the reactions, and everything.
Awesome. And Emily, tell it to me. I love being in the circus because...
I also love being in the circus. I love to express what we can do to the audience and make them have the time of their lives. I also enjoy the relationship between everyone in the circus. It's like we're just this one big family and we know everyone we see. Like if we see just someone walking to the food tent, which is where we eat in between shows, and we're like, oh, we know that person. Like everyone you see, you know.
You did tell me that already. Hold on. Did you feel like you had to be in the circus because your parents were doing it? Were involved?
Because we were in the circus, we did not feel the need that we had to be. It was our choice.
Wait, let me cut you off. Say that one more time. Because my dad was in the circus, it didn't make me feel like you had. Is that what you were about to say? Okay. So make sure you say because my dad was.
Okay. Because my dad is in the circus, I did not feel pressured to be in the circus. I loved what he was doing and I wanted to do it as well.
Ariana, how about you?
Yeah, same thing with me. Since my dad is in the circus, I did not feel pressure. I've just been watching them, and I was just like, I wonder what will happen if I try to join in.
Cool. Ariana, what do your friends at school who do not participate in the circus, what do they think about it?
Well, in my case, in their case of them not doing it, and for me doing it, they say it's pretty cool, but they would never want to do it themselves.
Say that one more time. Say my friends from school.
You want to make sure you.
Say my friends from school think it's cool, but they wouldn't want to do it themselves.
Yeah. My friends from school think what I do is cool, but they would never want to do it themselves.
And how about you, Emily?
My friends from the school I go to really enjoy hearing about what I do because they think it's interesting, and they try to come during the summer to one of my shows. But as you can, their summers are also busy.
Do you think about, is the circus always on your mind? Are you always picturing yourself doing it and performing or training, or is it always in your head?
Circus is one of these things that is always gonna be in your life once you're in it. I don't necessarily think of it all the time. Like if I'm on vacation, I try to enjoy what's happening then instead of circus.
Okay, good. Do you feel if you know what I'm saying when I say this, but do you feel like you're driven to be the very best at what the skills are that you're doing in the circus? Do you want to be the best? I hope the answer is yes. Okay.
In the Smirkus ring, we try to look up to someone who's older than us and take off from them. If they're doing something cool and you want to learn it, just try to talk to them. There is some points in time where I do want to get better. I do want to be better at what I do. And I just look up to the people who are there for me and just say, can you teach me new things?
And Ariana, do you want to be the best tight wire walker? Am I calling it the right thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to be the best?
Well, I do want to learn more and get better at it, like always, but I've never took it the wrong way and said, oh, I'm going to be better than you, nobody can beat me.
Gotcha. I don't mean it in a bad way. Mom and Dad, if you're listening, I'm not trying to say it in a bad way. I'm trying to say, do you have that?
Do you want to be your best?
Competitive.
Yes, I want to be my best.
Right, okay. Do you have an ultimate goal? Do you see yourself doing it can you do this for the rest of your life? Want to have a career in it? Ariana, go ahead. You go first.
Okay. Yes, it would be very fun, but as I'm not very an adult yet, I might not want to spend the rest of my life doing it.
Okay, and Emily?
I enjoy circus very much, but as everybody, you have more than one interest. I also enjoy doing art very much. I take an extra art class at my middle school, and I have an art class, so it's double. So I might consider doing art as well for the thing.
What does it feel like when you're in the let me do one at a time. When you're on, what's this, hold on, let me back up. What's the scariest one, Emily, that you do? Like if you had to say one where you get the most nervous, is it the static trapeze? Is it the pyramid? What makes you what's the most scary, and what does it feel like when you're doing it?
Probably the most scariest thing that I do in the circus that makes me get butterflies in my stomach is an apparatus that I haven't explained yet. It's a diamond I did in this year's show, and it's basically a steel diamond attached to the ceiling. I spin very fast on it, and I get lifted up and down by somebody on the other end of the rope.
Interesting. What does it feel like in the moment?
In the moment, you get used to it. The very first show, I definitely was nervous when I was going up there, but you kind of just get used to it and you get in the flow of things.
Okay, and Ariana, which one is your scariest for you?
Well, my scariest is wire usually, cause sometimes if you miss a step, you can fall and you can break something, but learning more and more, you just get better, and you're more likely to not fall and control yourself.
Are you nervous when you're on it?
Sometimes yes, and other times I'm just like, okay, Ariana, it's okay. Like, you can do this.
Tell me, your dad said you've each had one accident. Can you each tell me about your accident?
The one accident I have had in circus had to do with an act that we were going to put in the show, but we never ended up putting in the show. It was 2 years ago, and I was on the ladders. There's these two ladders, and they connect at the top, and somebody climbs in between those ladders and balances them. And I was doing a trick with him, and I was sitting on his shoulders, and I went to stand up on his shoulders, and I fell backwards off his shoulders, and I ended up internally bruising my whole right side.
How far did you fall?
Hold on. The length that I fell was about 12 feet off the ladders.
Wow, that's scary. Was there like a 911 call to get you to the?
Because we're circus people, it was taken very seriously, but there was no 911 call. It wasn't that bad. What we did do was they gave me a no pain pill, and then wait, hold on.
Who took care of you? That's an interesting part of the story.
I know. Get in there.
Okay.
Daddy. So, what happened after I fell was my mom is actually the nurse at Circus Smirkus, and so she came up to the tent that I had been training in, and she took me down to our sick bay, which is where we lay when we are hurt or injured or sick or something like that. And I stayed there for a couple nights and till my leg got better enough so I could walk up and down the halls again and go down and watch what the acts I was going to be in.
Got it. All right, Ariana, tell me about your accident. When was it, and what was it on?
It was the trampoline you fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she doesn't know the whole story.
Oh.
Hold on, let me jump in. She doesn't actually know the whole story because she got knocked out. But what you can tell her is you were jumping on a trampoline and you fell off and you dislocated your shoulder, and we had to put it back in. But she was actually blacked out through that moment. There you go. All right, welcome.
Wait, or you could do that one, or you could do the one where she was little and she did something to her elbow.
The dislocated shoulder is pretty scary. So you want to say that one back to me. What your dad just said. That you passed out, but you know you. But tell me what it was on.
Okay, I was on a
trampoline.
Okay.
I got injured.
I got injured on a trampoline, and I was jumping on it, and one of the mats were loose, and I wasn't looking where I was supposed to look, and I was looking at some people walking by, and I jumped sideways onto that mat that was loose, and it wobbled, and I fell off, and I dislocated my shoulder. So.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, perfect. You guys can stop recording for the moment.
Miss Ariana Wunderle, one of the outfits she wears when she performs. Emily May Wunderle, an outfit that she wears when she performs.
Troy Wunderle in his ringmaster outfit.
Woo! Oh yeah! Here's some of the apparatuses that Emily uses. Trapeze, lyra, and a big cylinder. Yeah, a little practice wire this clown uses in our basement.